Flash, and this is another State of Snap video. I'm in a spot where the sun is like, so it's like either I take the hat off and the sun's all in my face, or anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. You might not see my eyes too well, but you can see this fire hat though. Yeah, anyway, okay. Got it underneath too. Alright, you can't see that, whatever. Okay, so this week in Snap, so last week we had the debacle. You checked out the last video. If not, go ahead and check that out. I appreciate it. With US Agent and the compensation and et cetera, the caches were bugged, etc. No issues this week with Red Guardian. However, this week I want to talk about the things happening, the conversations happening around Red Guardian. And this is every week. Every week there's the card is, should you get it? Now granted, last week US Agent was like, okay, probably don't get that. You don't need that. Really. Realistically. Well, is it a good card against specifically Tribunal? Yes. But otherwise, it's not going to make an impact. However, this week, and in what my opinion is the best card of this month altogether, which is Red Guardian. I don't think there's any debate on, is it better than White Widow? Yup. Now there's conversations where people are like, I'm seeing these conversations, people are like, should I get White Widow? Should I hold on to my keys to get White Widow? I want to get this. Is it better than, is Red Guardian better? Red Guardian is better than White Widow. Red Guardian is better than US Agent. Is Red Guardian better than Red Hulk? In a vacuum, no. Obviously. Red Hulk is currently the biggest 6-drop in the game, right? And needs some adjustment. So obviously not. I'm not going to compare a tech card to a big power card, right? But outside of that, so yes, is Red Skull probably the best card of the month at the moment? Yes. Will it end up that way? Probably not after Red Skull. There's too many reds in this game. After Red Hulk goes through some nerfs, probably not. But at the moment, Red Hulk will probably end up being the best 6-drop in the best. Man, if you don't, sorry, it'll probably end up being the best card of the month. However, Red Guardian is yeah, you want this card, right? Why? Red Guardian provides you, and I've said this before, I said it on my stream the other night, last night or whatever, I'm saying it on Twitter. Red Guardian is the highest floor tech card in the game, period. Meaning, he's always going to be a 3-5, unless of course your opponent's playing Luke Cage, right? 95% of the time, because who's playing Luke Cage like that? Even people are now playing Hazmat without Luke Cage. So even his best case usage, people are still not using Luke Cage. I digress. So 95% of the time, Red Guardian is going to give you 3-5 value, right? So outside of that, he's the highest floor, and I say that because Red Guardian is never going to feel or ever be a dead card in your hand. Period. You could run down the entire list of Shadow King if your opponent's not playing scaling cards, dead. Rogue and Enchantress together, if they're not playing ongoing, dead. Shang, if they're not playing anything that's above 10, hello Tribunal decks, dead. Right? Those cards do nothing for you. And I don't know if you know this, but having a 4-3 in your hand that you can't play is just shitty. Alright? I don't have any water in here, so I'm not going to try to make this as a really long video. I'm trying to keep these around the 10-minute mark anyway. But I have examples of why and how Red Guardian is just good. And probably overall, you could still consider Shang the best tech card in the game. Tech card. After that, I don't see any reason why Red Guardian isn't immediately the next best tech card in the game. Period. Right now. Right now. It doesn't need a specific meta to be good. Right? The card's like a 7 out of 10. Straight up. In the right meta, he's like a 9. But he's never worse than a 7. Because your opponents are always doing things that you want to address one way or another. And he does that unless they're protecting it with Cosmo. That's it. That's his only counter. Cosmo. Right? And Luke Cage, depending on etc. Right? But I have the examples for you. Now, I have them in a Microsoft Word document, but we're on the go. I was able to access the document on my phone, but I couldn't have the document up and be recording at the same time. We're doing most of this on the fly, but this is what you're here for. Got pages falling out of the book here. You're here for the spontaneity, the environment. You got green behind you, birds chirping. Unfortunately, these idiots still have their car on, so it's kind of ruining the ambiance, if you will. I just turned it off. Thank God. All right, so here we go. This first section is titled Cards Usually 2 power or less by the time you've reached turn 3. Now granted, this is the Red Guardian hit list. So these are all cards that are Red Guardian hits in these instances. Okay, this is the biggest part of it. Sunspot, Deadpool, Kitty Pryde, Nebula, Black Knight, Echo, Human Torch, High Evo Misty Knight, Quinjet, X-23, Angela, Morbius, Daredevil, Goose, Kraven, Collector, Wolverine. Most of these cards are in meta decks right now. So on curve, these cards usually hit the board turn 1, turn 2. And they're usually really low power. So if you've established any sort of board state and you have priority, you're shutting all of this down with Red Guardian. Period. Period. Even if they do X-23 Wolverine same lane and you have priority, you shutting something down. You'd like to hit X-23, right? But something's getting shut down. How is any of that not really good all the time? Not meta specific, just flat out all the time. Alright, so let's get that out of here. The next page, cards more than 2 power that are still potential targets. This is a much smaller list, right? Because now we're starting to head into things that are over 3 power and there might be a different target, whatever. Or more than 2 power, excuse me. Armor, Invisible Woman, Jeff, that's the biggest one. Multiple Man, and Ravonna. That's another big one. Because how many really good decks is Ravonna in right now? And for that matter, Jeff as well. You're talking about in the case, mind you, this list had a bunch of them, but Jeff is a card that there is no counter for. Period. Fist Tower. Okay, that's the counter for Jeff. It doesn't count. Kingpin. Nobody plays Kingpin. Kingpin is another card, but I didn't have it on the list because who the hell's playing Kingpin? All right, let's get that out of here. Next. Now this is, okay, cards played on or after turn 3 that are still reliable targets. Now, they're not guarantees like some of these other cards that I just mentioned, but these are still things that die, that get killed off, that get 86'd by Red Guardian if you play it right. Cerebro. Come on, man. Mystique. Okay, yeah, because these are more of the later game targets. Everything else I just mentioned is like play Red Guardian on curve, he deals with those issues. Some of these are like late game targets that you gotta be a little bit savvy to hit sometimes. Cerebro, Mystique, Patriot, Bishop. You ain't playing Bishop like that. You gotta play that on curve. Mobius and Mobius, Dracula, Super Skrull, Wong. A lot of people don't think about Super Skrull, right? Wong, Iron Man, Blue Marvel. I've shut down Blue Marvels playing this card. I've shut down Dracula playing this card. And since we're on the topic of Dracula, hello, Red Guardian is now the best card in the game to counter Dracula, period. He's now one of only 3 cards in the game that even counter the damn card. Lady Deathstrike only just became playable, and Magneto is like a soft counter. He just moves it to another location, and then your opponent has to hope for the best. So the only two direct counters in Marvel Snap for Dracula are Red Guardian and Lady Deathstrike, and Red Guardian is the better of the two cards. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Help me out. Anybody. I will entertain any conversations in the chat. Help me out. I saw somebody say on Twitter, if you don't have Red Guardian, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Just play Rogue. What? Oh, because Rogue shuts down Dracula. Now, there are instances where Rogue and Red Guardian are doing similar things. Yes, they're stopping an ongoing thing on the other side of the board, shutting it down. Rogue takes the ability, but Red Guardian hits him with that -2 power. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. These cards ain't doing the same thing in a vacuum. Trust me. You want Red Guardian. Red Guardian is a better card than Rogue. Period. Period. End of story. Rogue? Okay. Cards that can be excellent targets with a little luck and the right timing. So these aren't guarantees, but still good hits. But you got to be a little savvy, a little lucky, and play it right. A little piloting skill here. Kyra, even though nobody's really playing Kyra, right? I've seen she's starting to sneak back in. Kyra, High Evo Cyclops, Dakin, Hope Summers, another big one. Luke Cage, Sebastian Shaw, I'll get back to that. Kazar, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's a big one. Sebastian Shaw. He's in every Surfer deck, right? Surfer decks came back, they were on the rise. Yo Woody was playing a lot of Surfer. He brought that back into the meta. Think about how many times you've seen a Surfer player play a Sebastian Shaw in a lane by itself, or with something that's like, a scaling thing. Like, I've frequently seen Shaw played in a lane by himself, because your opponent is like, okay, I'm gonna put Shaw here, and if you can beat it, you can beat it. If not, I don't need to put anything else in that lane. Red Guardian on curve ruins that. I'm just saying. And the last one, the most rare instance on the list, but happens on occasion. An early null due to Project Pegasus or Sakaar. And let me interject with a clip from my last stream.
Let's do this, and I know they do play Killmonger. Oh, we won with the null. Sir. Remember that list of cards? Oh, okay. At the bottom of this list, remember this list? At the very bottom of this list, I swear, I kid you not, I need you to see this. At the bottom of this list, the most rare instance on this list, but does happen on occasion, an early turn null on the board due to Project Pegasus or Sakaar. You can't make this up. I swear I'm not just talking out of my ass when I say things. I promise you. All right, let's reel it back in. Okay. I just needed everybody to see that, like, I don't say things. Okay. Anywho. Let's go ahead and shut that off. Appreciate that.
So, as you see, and naturally there's some production here. We're dialing up the production here a little bit. It's not just be me editing everything in my car, obviously. But we were having a discussion about this as this was happening. It happens. In a vacuum, this card is good. In the right meta, it's excellent. I'm baffled at the discouragement of Red Guardian. Could this card, now somebody made a great point, like this card definitely could have been a Series 4 card. For sure, it's a tech card, right? At the end of the day, it's a tech card. But is it a damn good tech card? Yes. 1,000 times yes. The proof is in the pudding. I didn't just make up a bunch of stuff. I pulled up all the cards that are in the game, I went down the list, and I made a whole damn list about it. So, out of 10, Red Guardian's a 7. Sometimes he's a 9. Sometimes Red Guardian, played on curve, will force your opponent to retreat. Is his ceiling as high as Shang or Enchantress? No. Is his floor much higher? Yes. Does that make him an overall better tech card than those two specifically? Better than Enchantress overall. Overall. Okay? We're not talking about ceiling power. Overall. Is Enchantress ceiling better against Tribunal than Red Guardian? Absolutely. Of course. 1,000 times of course. But overall, can you play Enchantress on turn 3 and shut off a Kitty Pryde? Nope, you sure can't. Can you shut off an Angela? Nope, you sure can't. She's got nothing for Dracula. Or Daredevil, Jeff, Kraven. Sometimes, yes, Shadow King is a good option against Angela. But can you Shadow King Angela on turn 3 and turn her off for the whole rest of the game? No, you can't. You can just force an early retreat depending on the deck that your opponent is playing. Shit, I've damn near retreat. I've had Red Guardian played against me. I was playing discard against my Morbius, and I'm like, if I don't hit Dracula, I'm gonna have to retreat on this. Period. Like, he's a 7 out of 10. He's better than pretty much every other tech card in the game not named Shang-Chi. He has the potential to be higher depending on what decks are the most popular. He's 3 cost for 5 value power. What the hell am I missing here? Anybody in my community that wants my recommendation on whether or not you should get Red Guardian this week, yes, get Red Guardian. Is Red Guardian better than White Widow? Yes. Is he better than Red Hulk? This month? No, but you missed the window on Red Hulk already. Okay? Red Guardian is good. Red Guardian has the Flash, the Gaming with Flash stamp of approval. Go ahead, go get your Red Guardian. We about to check out my last video. I just posted a video about Black Dama's deck, the new deck, Erase Memories. Check that out. I'd appreciate that. Hit that with a like, sub, same on this video. Do all that. We about to get inside. We about to go stream. Come catch me on Twitch, Gaming with Flash X. I'm gonna catch you guys next week on this one, man. Peace out.